Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and today Apple updated the rest of their AirPods to version 5B58. This is available for AirPods Pro, AirPods Pro 2nd generation, which they updated the other day and just brought all of these up to the same version, AirPods 2nd and 3rd generation, and also AirPods Max. AirPods 1st generation are still on version 6.8.8. Now, as you can see, it says bug fixes and other improvements, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But I've updated one set of my AirPods already, and they've also updated a few other devices as well. So I wanted to mention those briefly, as they've updated PowerBeats Pro, Beats Fit Pro, and Beats Studio Buds. And so PowerBeats Pro and Beats Fit Pro are version 5B55, Beats Studio Buds are version 10M2155. And so if you have any of those devices, these were updated the other day along with the AirPods Pro 2. If you have those, you should have an update. Now I wanted to show you how to update them, how to check for AirPods Pro firmware, see what version they're on, and also talk about what's new. Now the first thing is to see the version they're on, just connect them to your iPhone, give it a second to connect, you'll see it connects quickly, go to settings, and if we go to our AirPods settings here, now this is in iOS 16. If you don't have iOS 16, you can always go to Bluetooth and then tap on the AirPods, tap the little I next to them. But with iOS 16, they added this little option here. So you can see here, if we go into this, and let me switch to dark mode here, and scroll down to the bottom, you can see the actual version number. This pair has been updated to 5B58. And if we go into this, again, you can tap on support.apple.com and it will bring you to the page I was just at showing you the latest firmware versions. And so in order to update these, typically there's a couple different ways to do that. I find the fastest way is if you have a Mac and you plug it directly into Lightning from the Mac, they typically update the fastest. That's usually what I do now, is that's the fastest. However, if you don't have a Mac and you have an iPhone, it's very easy to update these. What I find works the best is connect them to a charger. So connect the AirPods first to a charger. So if I grab a lightning cable here, make sure they're charged over 50%. Typically that's what helps with this. Connect them to your phone, listen to some music for a little bit, maybe 30 seconds, put them back in the case while they're connected, and just shut your phone off to the lock screen and then set your AirPods next to them. Within 15 minutes, typically they'll update, even on cellular or Wi-Fi. Either way, they'll update that way. Once they're updated, you can come back and check the version number. So let me go ahead and do that with the AirPods Pro 1st generation that we have here. Those are connected. AirPods Pro, you'll see we are not on the current version. I'm actually on a beta version. And so I'll update these. And one thing I wanted to mention is if you were on AirPods Pro betas from earlier, about a few months back, you'll actually need to disable the beta. And in order to do that, you need to go back to your settings and go down to Developer if you had this installed originally. Go into Developer, and within Developer, go all the way to the bottom, go to Pre-Release Beta Firmware for AirPods testing, then turn it off. So you'll see AirPods Pro, I turned it off. Now we can update it. So once you have that disabled, you can update them. Let's go ahead and get these updated. So what I'll do is I'll plug in my AirPods Pro 1st generation to my Mac. That's this cable here. We'll set this aside. And then with the AirPods Max, I'll update them using the iPhone. So I'll listen to some music, put them back in the case, put them on the charger, and hopefully they work. It can take a few tries to get the AirPods Max to update though. Now I've finished updating my AirPods Pro and AirPods Max, and as you can see, they connect right away, and I've found that the overall connection is very fast. After this update to version 5B58, they seem to connect much faster than they did before. You can see the actual version in settings. As you can see, I have the AirPods Pro and AirPods Max. If we go into the Pro, you can see that we have version 5B58. So they're both updated to 5B58. I've listened to some music in them, checked out a few different things, and the first thing you'll notice right away is if you have AirPods Pro 2 or 2nd generation, many people have confirmed that switching between ears has been fixed. This was an issue with them before. It seems to be better. Also, noise cancellation seems to be excellent, both on AirPods Pro 2 and also AirPods Pro. I tested this out again as this was a complaint of many people, and you'll see how quickly it connects after switching back and forth. Also, transparency seems to be better, specifically on the AirPods Pro 2nd generation. And what I mean by that is typically before the update, what it would do is normally it would switch back and forth from sometimes someone talking in the room. It would sort of fade that in and fade that out. It seems to do that much less and just be a little bit better overall, at least in my experience. As far as sound quality, it seems very much the same for AirPods Pro 2, and AirPods Pro 1st generation seem to be about the same as well. But other than that, I noticed the connectivity speed seems to be much, much faster. So that's a great thing, just seeing how fast it connects between different devices and also switches to other devices. Switching between iPhone to iPad seems to be fast, but the one issue I've found is it still seems to be odd switching to Mac. However, switching between phones and iPads seems to be much better. I'm not sure why it's slow with the Mac, but it depends on the Mac you're using. Now, with this update today, Apple also updated AirTags. Now, AirTags are a little more difficult to update, and the new version is 2.0.24. AirTags do not have an easy way to update them. You just leave them nearby and they eventually update. Apple doesn't have a specific way to get them updated. However, if you want to see the current version, you can go into your Find My app, and once you're in Find My, once you tap on the AirTag that you want to check the firmware update, you'll see the name there, and below it may give the address or say with you. Just tap in that area and you'll see the serial number along with the firmware number. So you'll see it's currently 1.0.301. The new one is 2.0.24. So hopefully this will update soon, but there's no way to know when it will update or actually what's in it. Apple hasn't said specifically. Now, other than that, Apple hasn't said anything. It's just a bug fix and update. And one thing I would love to see is in the AirPods is not just a menu for this, but an actual option to select software update or firmware update. I would love to have that option. You go in here, select what you want, and then it just updates it. Also, I'd like better explanations of what's been updated. It's still very confusing as to what they've actually updated. So on the AirPods Max, you'll see here we're updated. We go into the version, we can tap on support, but just like most of Apple's updates, oftentimes they don't include a whole lot of information. It just says bug fixes and other improvements. So hopefully it does fix this for most people. The connectivity issue was my number one issue using the AirPods Pro 2. The AirPods Pro 2nd generation over the past couple of days with the latest firmware update. It definitely has better connections overall, whether that be with iPhones, Macs, and other things, and switching is better. But overall, much better so far. Let me know how it's going for you in the comments below, and Apple hopefully in the future will listen to some of these and maybe give us more information about what they've specifically updated. But if you found anything else I haven't mentioned in this video, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, and as always, I'll link this wallpaper in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.